Hi, friends. So, I've been sharing little snippets of clean eating, clean living over on my Instagram page. And I asked if anyone would be interested in kind of hearing about my journey and where things started. And I got quite a lot of interest there. And so, I thought I would make a video and put it on YouTube here and kind of tell you guys how this all started. So December 2021 is where it began. December is my birth month, and I remember on my birthday just thinking to myself, like, I'm tired of feeling like crap all the time. Um, and so I knew I wanted to start changing some things, and I was tired of just doing the same old fad diets or whatever was popular at the time. Like, I really wanted to make a lifer change. And so I started to read books and do research on gut health. That's kind of where I started. And let me tell you guys some of the symptoms I was experiencing. Number one was chronic, severe fatigue. I was tired all the time. I remember my kids used to joke that mommy's favorite hobby was taking a nap. And, it was funny, haha, then, but really, ouch. But seriously, I was tired all the time. Like, I would sleep 8 hours at night, get up, do a few things, and I'd be ready for a nap. Just the fatigue was just unreal. Other symptoms were GI upset, constantly a stomach ache, or frequent bathroom visits, heartburn, indigestion, GERD, all of those things. So I was just tired of it, and I knew that there needed to be a change. It needed to be a slow progression, but it needed to be significant. So in February of 22, I ended up seeing a physician that did some blood work for me. It was called, I think, an 88 food intolerance blood work test. And it basically tests you on all of those different food categories to see what you're intolerant or what you're allergic to. So I got those results back, and there were four things that really popped on the test. And three of them I was eating practically on a daily basis. So right then and there, those things got cut. Number one was apples. Number two was broccoli. Number three was asparagus. Now, those are three things that you would assume would be like healthy things for you to eat, right? I was eating like an apple with peanut butter almost every day as a snack, and I was having broccoli with like chicken and rice almost every day as a prepped up lunch for myself. So, here I am thinking I'm doing good with apples and broccoli, and meanwhile, it's hurting my stomach. But so immediately cut those two things out. Asparagus really wasn't a big deal. That was an every now and then thing. And so cut those out as well. And then the thing that popped like the highest, surprise, surprise, is gluten. So I eliminated gluten from my diet, which was hard initially because there's so many gluten-free products out there that are being sold that are full of just as much junk ingredients as everything else on the shelf. And a gluten-free diet was such a fad thing. It seems like, oh, I'm gluten-free. But those products, just because it says gluten free does not mean that it's healthy. So I had to really learn to read the food labels. And that's a big part of this journey as well, is to be able to flip open or flip over whatever container it is that you're buying and look at the ingredient label and be able to say, yep, that's good. Nope, that's not good. So educating myself on nutrition labels was huge. So anyways, I eliminated those four things from my diet and slowly started to see some improvement. But really, there's just so much more work to be done. But let me show you the image of the test results that I have so you guys can kind of take a look and see what that looks like. All right, so here's the first page of the summary of that test I was telling you about, and you can see the red for apples and the red high for asparagus and then the red high for broccoli. And then you can kind of take a look at all these other foods that it's testing on. And then I'm going to scroll down a little bit. And then this is the second page, so you can see high for gluten. And these are all the other foods they were testing on. And then the third page is kind of like a summary of where to start, like what to eliminate, what to rotate is what they call it, and then what is good for you to have. That's not going to cause GI upset. So that's kind of what the test looks like. And that was kind of my jumping off point. So yeah, so the big jumping off point for me was after having that blood work done and then going gluten free and cutting out the apples, the broccoli, and the asparagus from my diet, and then slowly learning how to read a nutrition label. And not only doing this for myself, but progressing the entire family into it and teaching the kids. About what I'm learning as well was a big starting point so that they understood the why behind what I was doing. So that's kind of where I'll end this first session about where I started. I'm not recommending that this is what you should do. I'm not telling you that this is what you should do. I'm just sharing my journey so that you can take that information and do what you want with it. So anyways, I will come back in about a week with a new recording of the progression and the next things that I kind of learned and started to implement. So I hope you guys enjoy.